Thank you for tuning in to HardNews TV4. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is September 3rd, 2020, and this is my crazy top 10 for today. So, Representative Clay Higgins is from Louisiana. This headline says, "Dumb and reckless Facebook post by Clay Higgins should be condemned," Cedric Richmond says. Now, background on Clay Higgins is he's a representative from Louisiana. He's known as the Cajun John Wayne and is famous for his tough talk. So I love him. He is a trip to me. So my favorite one is St. Landry Crime Stoppers looking for thief who broke into Stelly's supermarket. So he just talks about, he's going to arrest them. He's going to rough them up. He likes Stelly's. He likes eating there, He's just real tough on crime. You weren't going to get away with anything on him. America's toughest cop, Captain Clay Higgins. Okay? Now, I love Clay Higgins. Well, now the liberals are coming unglued by this representative with a background in law enforcement, okay? And he's considered the toughest cop in America. So he's going to have that tough cop vernacular. An incendiary Facebook post by U.S. Representative Clay Higgins in which the Lafayette, Louisiana Republican threatened to shoot a rumored group of openly armed protesters drew a rare rebuke from a colleague. Oh, it's rare that Democrats attack Republicans, right? It's rare. Drew a rare rebuke from a colleague in the state's congressional delegation, with U.S. Representative Cedric Richmond saying his dumb and reckless Facebook post requires serious condemnation. In the post Tuesday evening, which was accompanied by a photo of openly armed black protesters at a Black Lives Matter demonstration in Louisville, Higgins, a Lafayette Republican, voted that anyone arriving in Louisiana, aggressively natured and armed, would have a one-way ticket, and that he'd personally drop 10 of you. So they're coming unglued that this law enforcement guy is saying, I'm not putting up with lawlessness and it needs to be condemned. But article number 2, here's the hypocrisy. Put a bullet in the president. Watch 2 minutes of Democrats' threats of violence against our president. A video circulating on social media presents a montage of threats against the U.S. and President Trump by Democrats and media figures. They're still going to have to go out and put a says one. Okay? Where's the outcry for that? But a representative from a background in law enforcement says that he's not going to tolerate people breaking the law, and they're coming unglued, but yet they make threats against our president. Where is the Secret Service? Where's the outcry on that? Article number 3, U.S. drought, okay? Drought, windstorm, plunge Iowa's corn industry into chaos. Now, in my video, that channel that got pulled down, I did a long couple of videos on famine that's coming to America. And the UN is warning that famine is coming. We know that they were in plowing the potatoes, pouring out milk. More than half of Del Monte's vegetable processing plants have closed. Bankruptcies of farms, dairy farms closing down, dairy processing plants, euthanizing of millions of chickens, and suspicious fires and deaths of millions of chickens. We know famine is coming. We know it's coming. Article number 4 is going to confirm this. A tenth of American households say that they have not had enough food during the pandemic. And food banks are overwhelmed. Food banks overwhelmed as virus causes surge in demand. Food banks overwhelmed as virus causes surge in demand. Okay? There's been long lines in the food banks. All right? Famine is coming. The Bible tells us in the last days there'll be famines, swiftly spreading diseases, earthquakes. We're nation against nation. We're seeing all this, okay? Look at this. Article number 5. Coronavirus warning. Mass use of hand gels could create unstoppable superbugs, expert warns. So, washing your hands too much, you're depriving your body the ability to be able to fight off diseases. Apple and Google update their contact tracing software. This is from yesterday. At the beginning of the virus pandemic, Apple and Google announced that they would work together to develop a COVID-19 exposure notification API. Initially, access to the contact tracing software required users to download an app from their local health authorities and opt in to receive exposure notifications. The two companies announced yesterday that the COVID-19 exposure notification technology will be built directly into the iOS and Android. If opted in, the technology uses Bluetooth signals to determine how closely and for how long two phones were together and warns the other if the users test positive for the COVID virus. Okay? Says the move is in large part due to a lack of adoption as health authorities have struggled to roll out their apps. No, it's a lack of participation. Public health authorities can now simply submit a configuration file with their contact information and guidance, while users will be notified to opt in once their state or region is available. So the contact tracing, you know how they're saying that the contact tracer people aren't getting people to answer their questions? This software being updated from your health department is going to be able to get what information they want. Article number 7, county seizes property from LA church challenging coronavirus restrictions. Y'all know John MacArthur? This is his church. A California church challenged local coronavirus restrictions on worship services, and county authorities responded by canceling the church's 5-decade-old lease. County officials informed Grace Community Church that it will terminate its decades-old lease on a parking lot after the church filed a lawsuit over local restrictions against in-person worship. The county told the church in a letter that it intends to terminate the lease of a large section of the parking lot that the church leases, threatening to forcibly remove any of the church's property that remained in the lot. Okay, so the state is just finding different ways to go after churches. LA County is clearly trying to evict Grace Church from the use of their parking lot for no other reason than because Pastor John MacArthur stood firm and is challenging their power. Okay, this is the essence of tyranny. So I asked y'all in one of my other videos, when you have to stand up and it's going to cost you something, are you going to keep standing or are you going to cave? Because article number 8, pastor vows to keep holding indoor church services despite now fines up to $52,000. A church in Santa Clara has been fined more than $52,000 for holding indoor church services during the coronavirus pandemic in violation of health orders. You can go out there and act a fool, threaten to hurt the president, do anything you want, and not fined, in prison, slapped on the hand, not citationed. But you have church, and they want to take your church property away and fine you. Article number 9, I thought FEMA was here to help everybody. FEMA is to end funding for cloth face masks for school. Now, school is supposed to be starting back. Some people don't, most people, 50% of people don't have a job. Money is down. But now FEMA is saying they're not going to fund their face masks no more. FEMA officials said Tuesday the agency will end federal funding for cloth face masks in schools around the country. Recordings of a call between FEMA representatives and the state officials obtained by NPR indicated that the new plan will face criticism from officials around the country who questioned on the call why the agency would only fund masks if they were deemed necessary to stop a direct emergency. Oh, but I thought this was mandatory. I thought masks were mandatory. And so now FEMA doesn't deem it necessary to make provisions for school kids to have their masks. Do y'all see the doublespeak? The Federal Emergency Management Agency doesn't think it's an emergency to provide the school kids with masks. So you know what the answer is going to be? The vaccine. And the last article, number 10, is COVID-19 the trigger for the new world order of economic stagnation and social destruction. We know the beast system is rising, and we know for a new system to emerge, the old has to be pulverized. If you want to build a new high-rise building where, you know, the old mom and pop stop and go is on the corner that's torn, you know, that's dilapidated, and it's a prime piece of real estate, and you want that corner lot, before you can build on that lot, you got to conspire, bribe, threaten, by all means necessary to have your agenda fulfilled. When you finally take possession of what you've wanted, you have to destroy the old mom and pop building to build your new. And the new world order, the elitists, the Illuminati, the deep state, the enlightened ones, the dawning of the age of Aquarius, they have to destroy the old world order, the old monetary system, the old religious system, the old political system to put up their new world order. And the virus is what's ushering it in, because it has been the spear that has destroyed the economy, that has destroyed religious gatherings, that has destroyed political structures, that has brought in lawlessness. So I just wanted to bring y'all this. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.